الفاضلة. المرأة الفاضلة برنامج أسبوعي من إعداد وتقديم إيفات البياضي. المرأة الفاضلة برنامج يلقي الضوء على دور المرأة في الأسرة والمجتمع، ويزودها بالوسائل العملية لتكون المرأة الفاضلة في عين الله والأسرة والمجتمع، وأيضا في عين نفسها.
Welcome today in our program, The Virtuous Woman. Today I have a great surprise because we're going to see the power of God, the extraordinary, the supernatural of God's power. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And the question, can God raise from the dead? Yes, we will know today. Can God heal somebody from 4-stage cancer and he's about to die? Can God touch him and heal him? Let us see today with our guest what God can do, and as God did it to him, he can do it to anyone who's watching this program today, because he is yesterday, today, and forever. Our guest today is Latif. Welcome, Latif.
I'm glad to be here.
His other name is Larry Nelson too. He is my husband's cousin and he lives in Australia, but he lived also here in America. God did a great miracle when he was a little boy. He raised him up from the dead. Can you share with us what happened when you were young? And how did you know that you were dead? And how was the reaction of other people around you?
When I was 7 years old, one day I said to my mom, I don't want to go to school. She said, okay, you can stay home. And I asked her to call my auntie who didn't have children to sit with us. I was like her child. We lived in the second floor. She lived in the third floor. We were living in Giza, Egypt. She went to call her, and then I don't remember anything. My mother told me the story that when she came back, she found me on the floor, cold. She tried to do things to revive me, to give me whatever, to warm my body. After a couple of hours, my oldest auntie came. She was a head nurse. She said that we have to go to a doctor. He looks dead. And I'm 55 now, and when I was 7 years old, there was no cars, there was no telephones. My oldest auntie, she is Victor's mother, and Victor remembers this well. The doctor is about 45 minutes walk. She waited for him till he finished 2 patients. And his name is Nagib El-Mallah in Giza, Egypt. He came to the house and he could not get to the second floor, so they had to carry me down. And after checking me, he said the boy is dead, and I came for nothing, prepared to bury him. My mother had a heart problem, so the doctor said that God knows that you have no energy to take care of 3. So he took 1. The doctor left, and my auntie pulled her hair and tore her hair badly. And later on in life, she told me, look at my hair. My hair is bad because I tore it from the day that you died. God leaves things for us to remember, so we would be sure that things happened before. Mom was a believer in Jesus. She attended every meeting everywhere, and she had a very strong relationship with Lord Jesus. Mom, she said that she repeated a verse that she read in the Bible. You, Lord Jesus, you are the way, the truth, and life. If someone dies, he can come back to life. And the story about Lazarus, who Jesus raised from the dead. And we had a church-sized Bible that my father used to read every night after supper and explained a whole chapter. That church-sized Bible she took and put on my body, and she took the picture of Jesus that had that brown shawl. She put it on top of the Bible, and she said, you are the way, the truth, and life. I'm not going to let you go till you raise my son, and I'm not going to hear what the doctor said as a final word. All the people started gathering in the house, and the news spread that I died, and a lady pulled her shawl and she wrapped me with it, put me aside in the bed, waiting for my father to come from work. people were crying and they are wailing. And all of a sudden they felt a movement and they unwrapped me and they saw me that I'm back to life. So everybody was happy and everybody started leaving. And then my father came. My father heard the story and never believed what my mother said about the doctor. Maybe he fainted a little bit. The doctor doesn't understand. This is what happened and what my mother told me and what my father told me. But something that God left me with, so we will always remember that I really died and God raised me from the dead. So what happened to me and what I saw is that...
That's what you saw when you were dead?
Yeah, when I was dead,
yes.
Before I came back to life. What I saw was a heavy man with a red cap and with thick glasses and a three-piece suit. And he had a stick in his hand, was holding my right hand, and we were walking together like inside a big tube or under a tunnel or something, and we reached the end of the tube and there was an edge and there was just clouds, and he looked at me and he said, "Go back, it's not your time yet," and he pushed my body and my hand and I was floating on the clouds, and then I opened my eyes. I told the story to my dad and to my mom. Mom believed that I died and came back to life. My father did not.
And the doctor told her that you are dead already.
And the doctor said that I was dead. My dad said that doctors can make mistakes. They are not God. And after a few weeks, we were in our church. There was the altar, and then the left side there was a room where the pastor prepared the sermon and all that. And the right side there was another room that had old chairs and books and a cabinet. We were there for preparation of a play. Then I wanted to do something. I'm 7 years old. I asked them, "What do I do?" So I think they wanted to get rid of me. So they said, "Go to that room, open the cupboard, and clean the cupboard. Take all the books down, clean it up, dust it, and then put the books back." And when I went in and I opened the cupboard and I started taking the books down, and something strange happened. I saw half a statue of a man, and I called my dad. Dad, come quickly." So I found out later that this statue was made by somebody years ago, that he went to France to learn how to make statues as an artist, and he came back and made that statue. I said, "Dad, that statue is the same man that was holding my hand and walked with me through the tunnel." And my dad said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." My dad's face was changed, and he said, "Now I am sure that you are dead and came back to life." My dad doesn't believe in just anything. He's a very good Christian man. He believes in the Bible.
He didn't believe in the supernatural.
Yeah, but he does not. 2,000 years ago it was okay, but now these things are not so. And he said, "God left this a message for you and for me. Not an angel to hold your hand, but he made this guy, particular guy, so I believe and you believe, and never forget this till you die." I said, "Who is that man?" He said, "This was the pastor of this church, and we used to call him the angel of the church. He used to take care of the orphans and the widows, as it's written in the Bible. And he used to give from his own pocket money that's left, because they were not making that much money. They used to give money to the orphans, and even he took care of my grandmother and her children when they moved to Giza from the farm areas. He took care of all their needs. So he was called the angel of the church."
And where is that pastor?
I said, "Where is that pastor to see him?" He said, "He died 2 years before I was born."
So God made you open this closet and to get everything down so you can see the statue, so you will know that this pastor was in heaven. And this is just like a proof that God took you and you went to heaven. And this is a real proof that God is still doing miracles.
And something else happened.
What?
That When I was 17 years of age, after 10 years from what happened to me, I was bleeding from my hemorrhoid, and I went to that doctor.
The same doctor who announced your death.
Yes. And I told him, "Do you remember me?" He said, "Yes, you're Lazarus. You're the one who died, and I witnessed your death, and I heard that you were risen from the dead, and I saw you, but I haven't seen you for a long time." He said, "I thank God for raising you from the dead."
So the doctor confessed.
Yes, and I remember when I was little, up to 2 or 3 years after I was risen from the dead, everybody's calling me Lazarus, Lazarus. Everybody used to call me that.
What was the name of this pastor? I believe Pastor Aziz.
No, Pastor Aziz was after him. His name was Khalil, Pastor Khalil.
Pastor Khalil.
The church's name is Good Shepherd in Giza.
This is a real